Okay, welcome to video lesson 3.4. This is the last video lesson for week 3. You're going to need to have this sheet. You should have it in your pocket, and you need to have 2 colors. It could be a marker and a pencil. It could be 2 crayons. It could be 2 color pencils. You need to get a green and a red, and have a pencil. I'm going to be using a pen today. Okay, first thing I want you to do is we're going to separate our page in half. We're going to divide our paper in half, and then we're going to put a title on our page. Okay, and there is my title. And what I want you to do first is we're just going to do something really simple. You should have your vocabulary in your book. This is your vocabulary that you should have. This should also be in your pocket. And you should take this, and these should be your next 2 vocabulary words that you put in your vocabulary section in the back of your sketchbook. We're going to be talking about some of these words today, the accompanying vocabulary words. So pay attention to that, because you're going to need to use these maybe next week in your discovery journal or art investigation. Okay, we'll start with a dot in the middle of the page. Now this is going to be our vanishing point, meaning that all of our objects that we see eventually will get further and further away until they vanish at that point. Okay, so something that's this big here, as it gets closer and closer and closer to this, it will eventually vanish and we won't see it anymore. Let's go ahead and draw a horizon line. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. If you would like to go get a ruler, you can grab your ruler and use that now. Just pause the video. Otherwise, just draw you a horizontal line for the horizon. Sounds the same. And we're also going to draw a vertical line straight down the middle here. And this divides our area here into 4 sections. This is usually above our head, this is usually below our head, and this is eye level. So let's go ahead and write some of these on here right now. Okay, here are some of my labels. We have the horizon line, vanishing point, and this is eye level. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw a couple of shapes down in the lower quadrants. Okay, we're going to draw a square shape over here. And let's just try a rectangular shape over here. What we're going to do now is we're fixing to draw some orthogonal lines. The orthogonal lines, I can remember these because when you say orthogonal, it sounds like you're saying gone at the end of the word. And these are the lines that go all the way to the vanishing point until they're gone. Okay, so orthogonal lines, they're gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our corners here. This one's behind the shape, so it doesn't really matter right now. And we're going to draw a line from here to here. So if you want to use your ruler right now, you just place it up against here like this, and you'll draw your line. So I'm going to draw these lines real quick. Okay, I have drawn my lines, and they're all connected to this vanishing point area. And it looks like I have this long shape that's leaving. Now, if you want to, we can cut this off, okay, like we're slicing it off. And what we're going to do is we're going to find this line, which these lines are the transversal lines. These are the lines that we make that are either going left to right with the horizon line, or they're going to go top to bottom like this vertical line here that we have. And they make a plain flat shape, okay? These right here are transversal lines, and they make a plain flat shape. And they have 2 of these lines that are going parallel with the vertical line, and the other ones that are going parallel with the horizontal line. We can cut these off, and we're going to make some more transversal lines like that. And you could erase all of this out here, and you'll have a nice 3-dimensional box. Now let's try this one. We're going to also draw some lines from those and connect them to the vanishing point. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so we have connected these lines as well, and if you want to, you can also cut these off. Just make sure it's parallel, okay? We don't want to draw it out this way. A lot of people tend to do that. Make sure these lines are all even with this one, the ones that go from top to bottom. The vertical lines should all be equal, parallel, with this one. And we can draw our other horizontal line. Make sure it's equal with this. See how they're all about to go in the same direction? We want to make them all parallel. And there is you another 3-dimensional shape. And you could erase the rest of that. Okay, so when you're finished with this, I want you to take your marker and we're going to highlight some of these lines. The first thing, let's go ahead and draw over the transversal lines. Remember, that's the ones that make the shapes. They're the ones that travel the same direction as this or this one. So they either go left to right or up and down. Here's another one over here. This would also be transversal lines. They form the back of our shape. Okay. Now we're going to look at our orthogonal lines. Okay. Now, if this was not here anymore and we had erased it, it would just be these. These are the lines that they travel away from us, okay, until they're gone. So I'm going to draw it all the way back on this one. So there we have our transversal lines in green and our orthogonal lines in red. Right, let's move on to our next video, 3.4 part 2, and we're going to actually be making a train station.